Ciao. Welcome to the Evolve Talk in the Century. My name is Ndii, and welcome to yet your favorite podcast show. Girl, I'm back. I am back. I'm back. I have decided to take a sabbatical break last 2 weeks. And within those last 2 weeks, I was giving you some of my favorite best moments within the current season and the old season. So I think it has been fun, hey? And my rest was also very much needed. And now we are in some, winter season. And girl, I'm out here drinking some tea because wow, I'm feeling so cold. But anyways, we're not about that. Right now, we are about celebrating youth, being young, and all that. With all that said, I am not alone today, and I am with my guest. Yeah, I'm with Robyn and Thakhani. Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, we good at you?
Why?
Hello. I'm loving the energy. I'm living for that energy. How are you guys?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. So how are you celebrating Youth Day?
Yo, it's crazy. I mean, we used to days where we would go out and in uniforms,
Yeah.
Remember those young people who fought for our freedom, their strength, their bravery, their sacrifice. Yo, it was amazing. So now we are on lockdown, we're just here home. And sometimes you don't even feel like it's holiday, And you see it when people are talking about it.
Then you be like,
most people don't know that tomorrow, like today, it's holiday. Like, which holiday is it? I mean, like, we no longer care if it's Friday today or Monday. Every day is every day.
Robyn, how are you celebrating Youth Day?
Well, today, me and a couple of members from my church, youth members, we decided that we should go get for the underprivileged houses in a local township. So we spent some morning delivering. I know there's like social distancing and everything.
Yeah.
Like the parcels at the gate.
Oh God.
But at least like they got some sort of food. So that's how we celebrated our Youth Day, because like we all know that some people struggle, and the struggle will forever if we don't do anything about it. So as the youth, we thought we should like just take that initiative and try help out where we can. Now that's really great. Hey, that's a great initiative. I think maybe throughout the years, the celebrations have really changed from what it was. Like for myself, growing up, the celebrations was a totally different thing in my community. Like we would have this whole people dancing Sarafina, like it changed when time went on. Like people were no longer doing that. Like people were just going out and just having fun and didn't even care about the meaning of the day. Like, can we also just reminisce? English though, but just to think about the moment. Thinking about the.
No, let us break it.
Thinking about the
moment. It's not our mother language.
Oh gosh, it's not our mother language. Hey? It never loved us. Let's go back in time and think about the moments, the best moments that we ever had when we were celebrating Youth Day. Do you guys remember any of those moments that you had in the past? Or I don't know.
Yeah, I have one actually. It was when I was in grade 11. Okay, so I'm from Durban. So grade 11s around Durban, like various schools they have something called the Durban Youth Council, right?
Yeah.
So I had the opportunity to be part of it. So we did was like community service and all of that. So for Youth Day, we decided to go to the harbour in Durban, and we did like a flash mob, Sarafin. It was so dope, guys. It was so dope. We learned all the and then we had to wear like our different uniforms and stuff. Imagine like there's like 100 schools, and they all come together and they do the whole flash mob. Like guys, it was so successful. That was like the most memorable Youth Day I've had.
Wow.
Amazing.
It was dope.
Thakhani?
On my side, I'm a very shy person, and most people don't know that. But the best moment that I remember was when I was doing my grade 9. Like we had to do like these dramas. You know, we used to do dramas, and we were copying everything from Sarafina. You know, they wanted you to portray strength, bravery, and to show somebody. You have to come up with the character of showing that this is what I want. I'm coming with courage, and I want to see change. And from that moment, I learned how to build my confidence, because you have to stand in front of people first of all. And then, it was amazing, because it gave me things that I didn't have. Now I can stand in front of people and tell you that this is wrong. And like what is happening right now with gender-based violence, I can sit down with my friends and tell them that, bro, this is wrong. And to even begin to look at a girl passing by and you start to make some negative comments, I told them this is wrong. But back then I couldn't. I will be part of it, I will be part of it. But now, because of that thing of being mindful of things that are happening, and to show strength from them, bravery, and to honor the sacrifices of those people back then, it's amazing. It was amazing. And still now, I'm still grateful for that opportunity, that I was able to draw strength and confidence from that moment.
Yeah. No, that's
that
really,
sounds
that's
like
really,
you built
really
a lot of
super.
character.
Okay, so our first segment of the show, right, is hashtag what's trending. So our hashtag what's trending will be dealing with some of delicate issues, but we'll kind of like generalize it and not make it a whole political spectacle and go all over the place, but just to, talk about what we think about what is happening in the world. I mean, most recently, young people have been at the forefront of hashtag Black Lives Matter movement that has gained a global support in the wake of the killing of George Floyd in the United States. So over the past week, activists around the world have been demanding the removal of symbols that glorify the barbaric and violence of slave trade colonial. Ooh, why is English testing me, Tiko?
It happens.
Lingua.
I'm at that bundle at the feet.
You guys. So guys, what are your thoughts on Black Lives Matter? I'm sure you have seen this trend going on, and I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on this whole movement?
Guys, I'll be honest with you, Mina. Personally, I'm angry, not at the hashtag.
Yeah.
I'm angry at the fact that people fail to unite when things like this are happening in the world.
Yes.
People failed inside to help out just that common cause at the moment, So for me, okay, this may be like going off topic, but this whole all lives matter thing, guys, no, it must stop. Like I saw I like TikTok, so I was on TikTok and
now you can talk. This is
they said, I saw something that says, we understand that all lives matter, but right now Black lives happen to a Black person. So, and we, like, Tina, as Black people, we are more prone to like be in danger more to like towards the next person. So you can't tell me now that all lives matter when we all know that guys matter. It's annoying, and it's not. I don't know where they learned this, because I don't think anyone can be born racist. I feel like it's taught at home. And guys, taking it back to SAK, it's been like more than 20 years, guys, after this whole apartheid thing, and we are still fighting over the same thing. Our generation shouldn't be racist, because we were born after I don't understand why. It's enraging, actually, because it's really something we should be, looking back and saying, yo, we got through that. That's now it's still there. Like it's there. I don't know how many times personally I've been called the K word in South Africa, and it's a lot.
Especially in Bloemfontein.
It's really a lot. The first
Tell
day
me
I went to
about
Bloemfontein, I was
Tell
called
me
the
about
K word. The first time. Guys, ngangidlula
that place.
I guys know it's a lot, but like going back to the hashtag, like Black Lives Do Matter, period. We don't care what you say, when you say it, but if you're not gonna like support the hashtag, rather just keep quiet. If you're not gonna support the hashtag, keep quiet, because you're just gonna create enemies for yourself. So if you want to fight for the common cause, then sure, post things that are matter. If you're gonna come with that whole angle, all lives matter, stop. Just stop it. Just don't post. It's fine. And that's my 2 cents about it.
Yo. This is a very sad topic.
Yeah.
It's a very sad topic for me personally. Because I studied history when I was in high school. We had this conversation one time when I was doing my grade 12. For those who don't know, because most of the people are just saying Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, let's say it was an organized movement dedicated to violence, civil disobedience in protest to police brutality.
In this case, from the beginning, because I feel like Black Lives Matter is from the beginning. Thing. It's not a new thing. I meant to say it's something that existed. Yeah, so it's alive now. Back.
Yeah, it's at its hype now.
Yeah. It was formed July 13, 2013, if I remember correctly. Okay. Because it is like two days before my birthday, 13 July 2013. And then the founders, I think there were 3 or 2. I remember Alicia, Gaza, and then Opal Tometi, and then who is Patrice Carlos? I don't remember the other. But when we talk about Black Lives Matter, I don't know why are we still talking about this thing? Or Black Lives Matter. And people are coming with this notion of saying all lives matter. What are you saying? We are saying Black Lives Matter because you are treating blacks as if their lives don't matter. Let it be the foundation of knowing that we are all human beings. We must be treated equally. We must live equally, despite of our color, despite of the qualification we have, despite of all things. Right? When you look at apartheid, what was happening in South Africa right now, what was happening during that time, you see how our fathers and our mothers were treated. You look at that. And then on top of that, black people never wish for a revenge. We stayed with them. We share whatever we have with them. But still, after we have said that we want peace, we just want freedom. We don't want your color.
Yeah.
We want freedom. We want to be equally with you guys. That's it. That's what we want. We don't want your color. We don't want color. We want to be equally treated.
That's
and it's so painful to see. Let us come back to South Africa. For me, it is so painful to see most of us South Africans talking about Black Lives Matter while we still don't take our brothers and sisters from other countries around Africa.
Thank you.
The same way we would.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They say that charity begins at home. When we talk about charity, we talk about everything that will have compassion. And then love is the foundation of all things.
Okay.
Don't tell me that Black Lives Matter if you still see a black man who is part of you as an enemy, and then you attack them. Xenophobia, you kill them. And then when your fellow black men are killed in South Africa, in America, you say Black Lives Matter. What are you saying? What are you saying? It starts with you to love your own brother. We know we have been divided. We have been divided back then. We divided and ruled. We separated. We went different ways. And then they want us to hate each other. You know, Africa is the core of life. All things that you know now in the world, they came from Africa. The medicine, everything, it came from Africa. But then, if I see a Zimbabwean right now, let me know. Let me understand that this is my brother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Black Lives Matter.
Ooh, you were preaching there.
Yeah, no,
you're preaching.
Listen,
No, it
valid
really makes
points.
sense. Valid facts and points. So I have this article from, let me just check, from Cambridgeshire Live. I like the part where it says, by saying Black Lives Matter, you are not saying other lives don't matter. This is simply the most common misunderstanding of BLM movement. So Dr. Meiji said, by saying Black Lives Matter, you're not saying that other lives don't really matter. However, you are bringing attention to the way that Black people across the world are denied certain human rights by virtue of being Black. So this is what Dr. Meiji is saying about the whole Black Lives Matter movement. And I think it is quite very relevant to our country as well, in the sense that, like, we're so close to America. Like someone said, South Africa and America is sort of like the same thing in terms of political and history-wise, because we still have that black and white thing going on. And it's very unlike with other African countries, actually. Like with other African countries, it's not like black and white have in South Africa, because probably there's not even more whites that side than we have in South Africa. So we have this black and white situation going on, and history between that had to do with oppression, with where Black people were being oppressed. So both countries have that. And someone was saying when people were going to the stores and taking out stuff like Dior and stuff, it was something that South Africa could do, I don't know. I can see something like that in South Africa, like people doing something like that. Obviously, we've seen it, people crashing shops, and I mean, trying to take stuff because when they're in when they're protesting. I don't know if you guys have noticed some of those things,
like looting,
yes. So it's something that in South Africa, like we have something like that as well.
Yeah,
we do, but the difference is, when in America, for example, they did the whole protest riots. And have you noticed that when I'm not like trying to be snacks or anything, but have you noticed that when there's white people, but when there's black people, it's a riot? Why is it a riot? All of a sudden it's a riot. It's chaos. Anyway, sorry. Just getting worked up for nothing. But
it does make sense. It does make sense here.
Yeah, and there's even videos. There was a video going viral where there was looting in America, and there were people of color, and then the police came there and started making arrests and all of that. But when the people were looting, the police were like nearby, but they didn't do anything. So that's still in matter. Do you see how differently they treat you because of your skin color, which is something that at our time, like in our times, it shouldn't even matter. Like, okay, the color is there, but it shouldn't matter.
I think it should take us back to FISMAS 4. When we had FISMAS 4, it was so very, like, the color thing was working, especially in universities where we have white people, like the UFS where I started my undergrad. Like, it was, you could see the way they treated white people. Like, you would pass with the other protesters, and then as a black person, you would be arrested. A white person will just pass and nothing will happen to them. So it was something that it was so apparent to us, like, why are we being treated like this in our own country? obviously it's everyone's country, but why are we being treated differently from the other race? Like, why are you arresting us?
Very wrong. It's very wrong. And then I feel like we have reached a stage where we are taking this as a norm. Like, this is how it's supposed to be. Even if you're on the line of something, you're queuing for something, and then a white person came, you will have some fear in your own mind. Like, this person is supposed to be in front of me. Like, is the craziest thought you can have.
Yo,
because
never.
Struggle and what they have. I could never.
Yo,
but
now I remember, guys, there was Kulungu that tried cutting the line. I was like, sorry, excuse me. I'm in front of you.
You know why? You know why? You know why you can't do that? Because we are waking up. We are waking up now. We can see that we deserve better.
Yeah.
And I shout out to youth of 1976. They show us that courage can do a lot of change.
Definitely.
Because they were going through a lot. But one day, it was one day. They didn't discuss that. I don't think they discussed this like the whole year. But it was one day that they decided that this must stop. To be heard, to be loud, to talk about things that you want to see change on. Like, this is how it is. Nowadays, as youth, we are just quiet. We're busy on our social media. We just posted that Black Lives Matter, and then we post the whole. We do nothing about it. Nothing will change. If you can look at this, you will see that most people who do these things are not, if they don't even watch news, most of them, and some of them, they don't even have social media. You're posting for who? We know that there are people who do that, who have social media, but most of them, they are not educated. Most of them, they are out there, and then you post them for nothing. We are the ones who sit there and be like, I can't do this, and then just that's how it is. That's why it's continuing every day. Let us go out to the street.
So what are you suggesting? What are you suggesting that the youth must do?
I feel like
they must go to the streets.
Yes, we go out and be heard. Because posting on social media, I don't think it does any.
It has no effect.
It doesn't.
But does going to the street help anything right now?
That's the thing. I feel like our youth is using old strategies with like a new target market, if you guys understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, as you guys said, in 1976, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So before that, there were always protests and all of that. But they must have done something radical to be heard, right? Yes. Yeah. With us, we're still using the same strategy, but we're not implementing our own things on the side. Because everything you do with regards to like, I'm not into, not that I'm not into politics, but I'm not like fully in politics. But everything that you do must have its own agenda, right? At the end of the day,
right?
So that every time something like, for example, Fees Must Fall, we're just going to protest and it ends there, and we go, like, for example, at UFS, what we used to do is protest. We go to the main building, we stand there, we wait for the vice chancellor to come out and address us, and it ends there. It can't end there. There must be something that we are doing on the side to make sure that the people on the other end.
Catch all the tea after the break. Child, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make podcasts. Let me explain to you. First of all, it's free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. This is where I'm doing it from. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. It can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimal listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Are hearing us out. It's okay. We can all meet in massive and sing, but to them, they're not going to take. You really show them and go say, hey, like Ninga try that type of vibes.
We mean business.
So now I feel like with like the whole fear that we have as a youth that we're gonna get arrested, this is gonna happen. In 1976, they didn't care. They were like, it's do or die. This, we need more people in the forefront that will be able to push the rest of the youth and the masses. Guys, if we're really going to do this, we need to be all in. Because now we have people we have people in like protests that are there to take pictures and just post on social media, I was there, and that's not the objective of the whole thing. The whole cause of this thing is so that we can be, not so that you can just say, yeah, Nami, no, like we don't need people like that, So we really need to. I know it sounds like I'm reaching, but maybe with all like these different associations that we have in South Africa, maybe we must meet and strategize as to how are we going to go forward with this, because protests are no longer working. They aren't.
That requires unity.
Social media is not working, and the thing is, we are not united as a youth. So there's our problem number one. It doesn't matter where you're from, KZN, Cape Town, Klerksdorp, it's fine. We are the youth. We must push this one agenda and go with it, Not this whole thing of, no, we're just there to take selfies. It's annoying.
And you're telling the truth. I feel like a lot of us just want to be there, like holding a box, writing Black Lives Matter or gender-based violence. It's not, like, for real. And most people are posting it on social media just to be seen that they're supporting. But they're doing absolutely nothing about it. They don't talk about it at home. And most I've always asked my friends sometime, do you guys talk about this when you are sitting together? Or maybe it's just the thing that is happening out there. When things are happening far from you, they don't affect you until one of your sister, one of your mother, until this thing happens to them, you will understand that it is painful. Why do you talk about it now while it's still far? Why don't you talk about it now? Because when you stop, it won't arrive where you are. It won't. And then I don't have strength to argue when women say men are trash. If you know a rapist and you don't talk and you don't report him,
you are trash. Yes, I agree.
If you know you can say something about it and you don't, you are a trash. Don't ask me what women must do. They must do what? Nothing. Ask me what men must do, because we are the one who are perpetrators. We are the one who are killing our mothers. We are the one who are killing our sisters. Don't tell me what women must wear. They must wear what they want, when they want it, how they want it. That's not excuse. That's not. Let's talk about back then. You see, let me finish up. You see, back then, you look at that. Most of the parts of the body were out. Like you could actually, I don't know how to describe this, but it was out. You can see the thighs and everything. They walk free.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because men were taught that you must respect the women. These are people that gives us life.
Amen.
But nowadays, it's crazy. I can't comprehend what is happening. I can't.
It's scary.
I think now it's time to actually go to the next trending topic, which is gender-based violence. Reports suggest that the number of gender-based violence cases have risen by 500%. 500% since the start of COVID-19 lockdown. Guys, we're still in lockdown, hey? And gender-based violence is skyrocketed. Like every day when you go on social media, I remember when I decided that, you know what, I need to take a sabbatical break and just rest a bit, because social media was so overwhelming. Like when you enter social media, you see a girl is missing, you see Bani Bani found killed, Bani Bani is raped, this, that. Every day there's just a new case going on and going on and going on and going on. And you wonder and think, when will this, like, what if this just happens to me tomorrow or today or now? Because you don't know, you don't feel safe. It's just like, wow, what's going on? You're even scared of walking outside and walking. Even in your houses, you don't know if maybe someone's going to come in and do something to you.
Yeah, man.
How do we live like this, guys? How do we live in a country, in a space, where you don't feel safe? You can't even walk properly without thinking, yo, what if? So what are your thoughts, guys, around this whole gender-based violence? Because I feel like it's really scary, and it's doing a lot in our mental health as well. Like, I can say for myself, it's just been affecting me a lot.
I think it's very, very bad, because when you look at it, boys who are growing up right now, they think that killing a woman is a trend. It's a nice thing to do, because you kill a woman, you go to jail, and then after 2 months you come back and you walk around the street freely. Even if you don't come out, when you went to jail, they give you food that are so nice that you can't eat outside, and you are home. Because in most cases you will find out that those people, they're no longer part of their family. They no longer eat from home. They no longer sleep at home. Now they need a home. So for them to get a home, they must kill. When they get clothes, sometimes they deliver KFC and everything, and they eat nice. If they get out sooner, they must commit another crime to go back home. Now, what do you do? When I was growing up, my mom once beat me so hard because I used to skip school. When I thought about it, I was like, this woman might not be my mother. Maybe she hates me. But I found out that this is love. What am I saying? I'm saying that when you give a massive punishment, the crime will reduce. That's my thought. Because you can't kill somebody and go to jail and then come back after 3 months, parole, and then they say bail, what. If you kill a person, stay there. And then what you eat must be something that you say, I don't want to eat this for the rest of my life. Because you can't be, I mean, it's like you're free inside a place where you're not supposed to be free. You are being educated. Look at those kids that are out there. They are not at school. They are not educated. Some of them, they are not getting bursaries and everything. Because some of the money from the government are going to jails. To do what? To support, to buy clothes for people who have killed people, who have taken other people's lives. Wow.
Robyn, what is your... Do they have phones?
Yeah, some people have phones in jail.
But I mean, is that legal, or do they just have those phones illegally?
It's illegal. It all goes back to the justice system. You can't tell me that if a couple fights now in some house and the guy beats the woman up, the lady goes to the police station to go open it, and then the policeman, first of all, you walk into the police station, you find a man. That's already a problem, because that man some men, I'm not going to say all men, some men automatically think when you come to complain, they're going to ask you questions like, maybe let's say for a rape case, what were you wearing? That's irrelevant. It doesn't matter what I was wearing. The fact is, I got raped and I opened a case, you know. It's the same thing with gender-based violence, where the woman comes to like, I got hit. Here you can see my blue eye, there's evidence. This guy hit me, and then that guy's gonna be like, no, you guys are a couple, you were just fighting, don't worry, go back home, sort your mess out, and all of that. There's no case open at the end of the day. And how are the police helping us at the end of the day? That's my question. How are they helping us? If we can't go it's a case and you get turned at the police station, does that not contribute more to the gender-based violence? And then you get
another thing is,
and then you get women that are killed by their significant others because the guys know, like Thakhani said, that the guys know they're gonna go to jail for 2 months and come out because of our justice system. Our justice system.
Yeah.
If you go to court, you sit in court, they hear you out. You're allowed to talk as the perpetrator. You're allowed. You. It's up to you, really. It's never a good idea to actually speak in court on your case, but some people do it. And they come up with the most lamest excuses that no, I was not in my right state of mind, and what that should be irrelevant. Someone died. You should just go to jail, my guy. Just go rot in jail. That's all. There should be no mitigating factors. There should be. You must just walk in, go to jail. Clar.
Robyn, I think as a law student, you might have a view on this. Like I think justice also is something that needs to be served, and we can't also put a blind eye on the fact that there are people that are in jail for crimes that they have not done. That is a fact. There are people who are in jail for crimes that are not done. So I think the whole justice is just not, it's not saving, it's not doing its purpose. But I still believe that there should actually be justice because some people are in jail for things that they have not done. And someone who did the things that the person is inside for is actually out here roaming and, free.
And it all comes down to just...
and still committing more crimes.
It all goes with... creating like a strategy as to how we're going to get rid of there's so much corruption in the justice system, there's so much corruption in like the police services, there's a lot going on because you can easily pay a cop and get away with your crime nowadays,
and you know why
that should not be happening.
Let me tell you something around this because I studied history. When I was studying history, when I was in grade 12, one of the things that I've learned that is very important in government is you must make sure that people who protect people, you pay them very well, to an extent that they won't want to do the side business.
You're right.
Every government that was overthrown back then, during the times of Hitler, Tsar Nicholas II, those people, it was the soldiers. Soldiers did that because they were not paid well. They wanted more money. And then it's easy to pay a traffic cop if you met her and then let's say the government is giving her 15,000. Like, really? You can pay 50 rand, 20 rand, and then you pass. In that manner, you are going to make mistakes somewhere else. And then maybe kill somebody with your car.
Okay.
It's bad.
I think let's move on because time is also not on our side. We can discuss this the whole entire day. It's really interesting to hear your thoughts. Yeah, it's a lot, really a lot, and something must be done. I would also like to hear your thoughts, who you're listening, where you're listening from, and what can be done to actually solve this whole... I feel like this is the pandemic. Gender-based violence is the pandemic, right? At this point in time, it's the pandemic, and it needs to be dealt with. And I think let's move right along to the main tea. Because most of the things we actually discussed, I was going to discuss Nigeria must fall. It was a trend that I saw on Twitter, but Nigerians must fall. So I think 3 minutes, let's just talk about xenophobia. What do you think about this whole this whole trend, hashtag Nigerians must fall? 3 minutes from both of you guys. That means it's built between the two. Let's just,
Please elaborate.
So on Twitter, there's a trend going on, Nigerians must fall, right? Because of human trafficking. Saying that most Nigerians are found to be involved in human trafficking. So there's a movement of saying Nigerians must fall. They must leave because they are destroying our country. So I think did say something on xenophobia. It's something that is currently happening right now. A lot of people are saying that these people must go because they are doing a lot of damage. They have so much hand on this gender-based violence that we are facing in South Africa.
Okay, let me start.
Yes,
I
please.
just want to be quick. I talk a lot, I know. Okay, let me say, it is true. There are some Nigerians who sell drugs. There are some Nigerians who do these different crimes, right? But there are Nigerians out there. When you see our brothers and sisters with beautiful haircuts, they are the ones who are doing them. They are the ones who sell beautiful things, and then you wear them and you look beautiful. But then it goes back to our government. What are they doing about it? From if you find somebody selling drugs and everything, what do you do? What do you do about it? Because it also goes back to them accepting bribes and sort of those type of things. And then in that manner, it is destroying our youth. You see a lot of them with no jobs, just roaming around the street. At the end of the day, they are going to steal. It's just different things happening at the same time. I feel like our government should, and the issue of the passports and everything, they must check those.
So it means the Nigerians who are
like
here illegally should be turned back. They should be turned back home. That's what you're saying.
Not
okay.
Really. They must not be turned back home. There are some of them who are here to work, and then they found like their permanent home here, and that's fine. If you are living your life right, you are not doing any wrong.
Okay, Robyn.
Then we're good. But
I think you have a point when you say it's the government, because the government is like they're the people that are accepting all these bribes. Because first of all, how did they find out that Nigerians are the ones that are drug dealers and human traffickers? Some sort of police force must have figured that out. Why are those people not arrested? Even if they're not detained here in South Africa, they must be detained in their own country. You know?
Yeah.
So it all goes back to the government. You're definitely right about that. But I feel like it's the whole Nigeria must fall thing. I can't really dwell into it too much. But regarding like xenophobia, it's something that's very sad that's happening in our country, because people are dying just for being foreign. A human life is being lost because you're not from this country. That says a lot about South Africans already. That we just go around killing people because they don't stay in our country, and according to South Africans, they're not. Which is it's wrong, because you're killing someone. It's a crime at the end of the day, you know. So it shouldn't happen. And xenophobia, a big thing, because now we're literally fighting two wars. We're fighting a war against our brothers and sisters, a racial war for the fact that we are black. So we're fighting with our brothers and sisters, and we are fighting with the other people on the other side, you know. One struggle. Can we not just unite people and for what we're fighting for?
Okay, let's go to main tea. Main tea, that's what we discussed the show. Literally the whole show is on main tea, and I think we have had a very mouthful in terms of the hashtag what's trending. I guess it is quite hectic out there, like it's a lot happening. So on main tea we celebrate Youth Days. Youth Day commemorates the Soweto Youth Uprising of 16 June 1976. In 1976 protests started. In 1975 actually, protests started in African schools after a directive from then Bantu Education Department that Afrikaans had to be used on an equal basis with English as a language of instructions in secondary schools. So that's when the youth of 1976 were like, we need to do something about that. So the youth of 1976 fought for what we, the current youth, enjoy. What does that mean to you?
Okay.
Okay.
Let me start. For me, the 16th of June is a commemoration to the black youth of
Yes.
1976, right? Those people relied together and stained against an unjust system. And before 1976, even currently, we have been witness to acts of solidarity in many different lights. And really, when you look at it, you see courage of those young men young black students who stand together to fight for what they say it is wrong. And then when you look at the youth today, you ask yourself, where is that courage? I believe youth, they mean standing up for what I believe in. I believe that what those students did was 100% what we need to stand for today. They stood and fought for what they believe in, eventually overturning an oppressive education system. You stand up and say that this is wrong. I don't want this. I don't want this. And you don't just say, I don't want this. You say something about it. So,
Robyn?
I think you're right. Youth Day, regarding the 1976 protest, they really set the tone for us, right? And I feel like we're letting them down because they literally gave us a whole platform and they're like, okay, this is how we are going to do things from now on. But Tina, as the youth, we're failing them right now because we're scared. We're scared because the government keeps shoving it in our faces that if you do this, this is what we're going to do. Institutions are instilling fear in us because they know if we protest, we there's a great chance in us protesting and actually being successful with our agenda. The only thing is that they instill fear in these students and they literally bribe them. Like, I know a couple of people that have been bribed by varsity, saying that, okay, don't do this, we'll take care of your family. And obviously, if you come from a poor background, you're going to accept that money because you need to take care of your family at the end of the day. So, yeah, we really letting them down. From my side, I feel like we're just letting them down. If we can look past all these problems and actually help each other and unite, maybe they'll be proud of us. But at this point, they're disappointed in us.
So, Ramaphosa said in an article that he released before Youth Day, he says, and so as we pay tribute to the generation of 1976 on this Youth Day, we also salute the youth of post-apartheid South Africa, the worthy inheritors of noble legacy. The mission of 1976 generation was to dismantle burden to education. That of today's youth is to take forward the project of national reconciliation and transformation. I think we should also look at what the youth post-apartheid has done. We had a very big movement just post-apartheid, which was Fees Must Fall. I don't know what you guys think about Fees Must Fall, but that was a very big movement that the young people of post-apartheid ever had. So what do you guys think about that kind of movement that since you guys are thinking, okay, no, we're not doing enough as the young people, but yes, we had a movement. So what are your thoughts around that?
That was probably the first movement that really shook the country. It was a very powerful movement. Take that away from everyone who participated in that movement. It worked. It worked. I can't say it worked effectively, and the ideal outcome that the ideal outcome that we wanted as students was like almost met, because now NSFAS has a problem. I think we're going back to that. We're definitely going back to square one. I think the movement itself worked, right? but the way in which the government received it and the response from the government was not effective because it was just temporary.
Thakhani?
Yeah.
For me, I would say, it was very powerful, and we saw courage. We saw courage because when you look at most youth, they are not employed, most of them, and then when we look at black families, black communities, you will see that they don't get enough money to be able to pay for their children's fees. So that movement was very powerful, and I think people were understanding what they were doing because they wanted to set other people free. They want to send other children to school too, so that they can get this education and have their life, their dream to live.
Well, I had a conversation earlier on with Sipho, and this is what the conversation was about. Do enjoy.
So what do you think is the role of civil society during this COVID-19 pandemic? What is our role as individuals?
Our role is simply to be a brother's keeper. You must be a brother's. If the little that you have, try to share. Because one thing for sure, if the next person is nothing at all, they will look where it seems like there's something, and you might be the target there. I'm not saying that if you share, and then you are just getting immunity, like you are getting some form of protection against criminals. But what I'm saying is that the culture of sharing during this pandemic must, of course, be enforced, making sure that we share the little resources that we can have. We share information, and of course we stick to the rules of the lockdown.
The current struggles we are fighting as the youth of today. What is it that we are fighting? I think now we are in a pandemic, right? And after this pandemic, I really know the fact that for a fact that things will never go back to where it was, honestly. And one of the struggles that will emerge after that is universities increasing fees, and that's where we're seeing the looming of fees must fall movement coming back to life. And one of the other things that I think on my side that is going to be very a big challenge for us is unemployment, of which is already an issue right now, but because of this whole pandemic, it's probably going to rocket.
Yeah, sure. That's what is going to happen after this pandemic. But I feel like the other issue that we must fight against is the curriculum. To be honest, curriculum that we are using, it's I don't know. We are still being taught the same way we used to be taught back then. You have to be in class, you raise your hands if you have a question. If you don't raise your hand most of the time, you are dumb. If I want to be an actor, that's another thing. If you want to do drama, that's another thing. You have to become a doctor. You have to become a police. So I feel like our school must accept our culture. In that way, it will allow us not to forget who we are. Most people, they don't even remember the idioms and those type of things. They don't even remember. You say things and like, what's that? You see, we are losing our culture a bit by bit, and then we are doing what is called enculturation. We are adopting other people's culture. When we talk about our culture, people think that's barbaric. So I feel like our curriculum must accept our culture, and then we leave. When we are at school, that this one, she's a Zulu. This one, not because of the way she speaks, but because of what she represents.
Okay, Robyn.
With me, struggles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of struggles we're facing as the youth besides the curriculum.
Yeah.
First of all, we're struggling deeply, intensely as a youth with regards to LGBTQI plus community. We really need to work on that. Varsities really need to work on that urgently. That's one struggle. Is employment in South Africa. It is ridiculous, guys. You can't tell me that parents struggle and for the kids to go to varsity only for them to a certificate.
Yeah.
And then they stay at home for 2 years without a job. That's a problem.
And more than that.
It's a problem. And then we end up being forced as the youth to go degrees that we don't like because they more prone to like guarantee a job after the thing. What if your child wants to be an actor? Let them go do the acting. Yes, like it all goes down to your curriculum, like Thakhani said. There must be some kind of way to let the curriculum expand and let kids grow knowing what they want to do. You know, that this goes to the younger youth because now it's drilled in. When you leave high school, you need to go study law, you need to go be a doctor, you need to go do engineering, you need to, all these big degrees. And school's not for everyone. People must remember that. It's not for everyone. This is why we have entrepreneurs.
Yeah. I think one thing that is missing... Yes?
No, yeah, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I think something that is missing in our curriculum-wise is the fact that you are still being taught to become a slave, basically. You're still being taught to go work for a company and wait for retirement. And that's what we like looking for. That's what we're looking forward for. Finishing school and getting employed. And not being taught to be self-dependent and not being taught financial literacy. Most of our young people don't understand financial literacy, and people will be like, some people who have financial literacy will be like, why are people not being taught financial literacy? Because as someone who comes from a rural place, a disadvantaged area, all they want is employment, and once they get employment, they are going to get into debts and debts and debts and debts and debts, and then they're gonna that's their life basically. They have no legacy that they're leaving for their children once they're gone, and it's a generational thing that continues and continues and continues. So this whole education system does not necessarily equip you to break the generation curse, or rather your generation what is it? I don't know how to put it, but it doesn't really break that generational thing that you need to break in order for your generation to enjoy the fruits of your work.
Yeah. You end up spending your whole life back to a bank. It's a vicious cycle.
It is. So youth unemployment is the greatest challenge we face, and the coronavirus pandemic has exacerbated an already dire situation. Now that we have seen a lot of more than ever, we will look at innovative and pioneering spirit of our youth to come up with solutions to the unemployment crisis that benefit them and their community and society. This is from the Cyril Ramaphosa's article. So what do you think is our responsibility as young people for change to prevail? What is our responsibility as young people to make sure that change prevails? Because most of the time we tend to say government, like we out here saying government, but what is our responsibility as civil society, as citizens, as young people, to ensure that change happens and change is visible?
I feel like, you're right, we must do something. All the time, government, we sing this song. So I feel like we must, I'm not discrediting school. We must go to school and have necessary qualification. But in doing so, we must be independent in our thinking. We must. There are things like entrepreneurship. You start a small business, and then you can be able to provide for your family. Because what I've realized is that we have adopted that mindset that we have to to get a job, but you don't really want to create jobs. I feel like when we start small businesses, entrepreneurship, and then you do something for yourself before you even get to a point where you'll be like, I'm waiting for a job, because jobs can't come to you. You have to acquire certain things, and then you go there and find jobs. You must remember that there are people who are in front of you who are looking for the same job you have, So I think we must learn a bit about entrepreneurship. That can save a lot of people today.
Okay, let's close off the show, guys. We've been talking, and unfortunately, time is not on our side, and we do not have the entire day. But the last segment of the show is snack moment, and in a snack moment, that's wherein we motivate and just say some good words that could assist someone who's listening, who's be there, and there's still hope. There's still something that you can do to change the situation that you are in. So you're giving final words, basically. Like, what would your final words be? Can it be about 2 minutes max for both of you?
Okay, can I go?
Okay.
So I have three things to say. First of all, as the youth, we must stop blaming the government, because we are the government. Literally, in the next couple of years, we are going to be running that government. Okay, so if we can check ourselves,
we are the government.
If we can check ourselves first amongst each other, that would be another thing. Is that as a youth, we need to stop trying once and failing, and then we never try again. You fake it till you make it. You need to.
Wow.
You need to fail and wake up. And you need to and say, I'm going back. I'm going to do it again. I'm successful. And another thing, this is the last thing I'm going to say. This is my favorite quote. Okay, it's by Dr. Seuss. I don't know if you guys know Dr. Seuss. He does cartoons. Cat in the Hat guy, that guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So his quote goes like this. It goes, rings in your head, and you've got feet in your shoes, and you've got to lose. You on your which and you've got nothing to lose. Okay. So if you can literally just go with that quote, I promise you it'll take you far in life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thakhani.
First of all, I want to say that was I would say that as youth of South Africa, like I said, we have to learn the business side of everything. Most of us, we just want to get jobs. Let us learn entrepreneurship, and then we stick our head there, and then because our grandmothers and mothers used to do that. They used to sell avocados around the community. They will send you, and we must learn that. And then my words of encouragement would say to everyone out there pushing, keep up in whatever you do. Success might take long, but never lose focus. And above all else, let us protect our women. Let us protect our women, because it is where lives come from. And then the rest is history.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. This was very this was a very informative and yet fun conversation that we had. Can we, like, all of us say Happy Youth Day together? Okay, let's go. Happy Youth Day. Happy Youth Day. Wow.
I thought you were going to
I was waiting until she says 1, 2, 3. Oh, you want 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do another important one. Stop. I don't know how to go about this one, but it's about gender-based violence. What should we say? And together.
Okay. Say no.
Let's go. What? I say no
I
to
say
gender-based
no. I
violence.
say no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
1,
Right.
2, 3. Let's go.
I
I
say
say no.
no to
No to gender-based violence.
Gender-based violence.
I say
Say it
no
like
to
you mean
gender-based
it.
violence.
No to gender-based
Yes,
violence.
Guys, wait,
Amanda.
no. Let's try this again. 1,
Okay.
2, 3.
I
say no.
Hey,
Good one.
No to gender-based violence. That's a deal with the case.
Oh, guys, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
You too.
Stop.
Bye.
And this is all we have for today. Stay tuned for more of the Evolve Talk.